Country people, I throw salute. As una sabi am, the one na undaunted pidgin news, place where tori no dey hide. Na that so. Shake no dey. Na me tori pikin so, aka talk am all. I don come again, make we match fire. Country people, tori for today na that so. We go broke una tori for how palava for country Sunday e waka pass for home front. We go remember una wetin we chief head boy for communication department, Dr. Martin Mungwa, wey na town crier for Ambazonia people, comot for outside, cat toxically palava for inside this September month, sotey number 12 day. We go enter again with the big man, Governor, Master President Mola Ikomesako, sika the palava for Sukulu. This palava for tax where ADF people then they bring na scam. Make all man stand fine so that people no go fall chuki for their hand. We Master President Mola Samuel Komesako don't give it tori where it concern the number 30 day for number and number 1 day when for next month when our Independence Day. Columnar Republic, blood sucking demon them, they don't shoot some small gondere for that side for Kumba. Accident where it happened today for Tiko na Elele. We go warrior them, they don't do them again. Again, inside Torima country people, Republic Ekelebe, then kill some poor boy for that side for Kumba. They say this boy na one for we voices in the bushes. Last, the last Saturday, Bibi na Lebi Alem, them draft day. But again, we get this Saturday when our Momo people, them draft day. So Momo people county, una go gather because this Saturday, when number 9 day for this moon, it go be now on a draft day. As una dey hear me now, any place where you dey, put your last for ground, look me fine. Sika say I dey come back and I go broke tori for una for the proper way. Country people, last, power don't change hand. Even Republic, their best Ekelebe, not fit do anything again. Make we hear wait till we come be Kimbi, when a Tory man for ground. Make we hear wait till Terry for Palava, Ghost Town. Una hear am?
We don't lock all we house them. We don't lock all we school them. We dey still follow we country Sunday, strong. Today Monday, we na number 4 day for this new month. The public governor talk say we picking them must go school. This turn back for school na direct for we country Sunday. We ground people them for undaunted. Waka go some school them. They say they don't clean all place. They shine fine. But no school teacher, no school picking, they around. We people them for Ambazonia don't mean say nothing we Republic want do for our country go waka fine. We dey do all these things so that we go the last get way till we want them. As days them dey pass, we Ambazonian school picking them, go turn back for school, but we no go follow na Republic calendar. Country people them, I beg, me all man try, respect this with big country Sunday. We be start for number 2 day for this moon, for this new moon, and as the end for number 12 day, na time that we go come out. We will try whole body, stay inside house, respect this country Sunday, fine, because na for we own good. Na me, Toriman Kimbi, I dey report so na for home front for Undaunted Pidgin News.
Thank you, plenty, Master Kimbi. Other while the era so I just say with the marker. All man the era na for interim government. Time don reach where republic, dem go carry their bag and dem go comot for we country. Shame for them. As they go stand the pass so, I go wan say make una see as e happen for that side for hometown sesep wey na today. Una see am. Na empty school that wey una dey look am so. Even classroom, no man no dey. Una dey see am? Una look am. I say they don go clean up place, dem dey think say pikin dem go calm. Say one teacher so, you know, dey una look blackboard na that. Bench dem don chakara for any kind of way. Una dey see am so, na school that for republic wey dem dey think say all thing dey fine. So last, we head boy for communication department, Dr. Martin Mungwa, don come talk say make all man e lock up place. Say na Mami Water Ghost Town, we go dey see am now for home fund starting for number 2 day for this September moon, so day number 12 day for the same moon. He give we some voice wey I go like say make we hear am.
Secretary of State for Communication and IT for the interim government. Today, 2023, I come for state official for the interim government as far as school reopening for the year 2023-2024 be concerned. Dear ambassadors, dear ARF, now I know say September in a very sensitive year or very sensitive month because this one is the time where the United Nations General Assembly they meet. And it be the time where La République du Cameroon seized the occasion for paying the ARF since terrorists, and therefore it will really help for create confusion for our country. Dear ambassadors, dear ARF, in keeping with the way the ANSC don't talk, the interim government reinforce and also support a complete lockdown from Saturday, the 2nd of September through Tuesday, the 12th of September, 2023. I want to make this message go far and wide because the interim government, it don't be able to demonstrate and in many occasions for proof say La République du Cameroon it dey kill with picking them, it dey use with picking them the target practice for this time of the year. For 10 round talk say like we be the terrorists we do try for prevent school reopening. Dear ambassadors, dear ARF, the interim government we don't make them very clear. Say the safety for picking them it dey in the hands of the parents. And we believe say at this very critical moment where La République du Cameroon for all the intelligence that we don't get them. They don't be frustrated with the success of the work where Dr. Sarkozy do internationally. So they feel say this one a time where if they get any occasion to go try for kill with picking them. And in as much as we don't tell parents, say the safety for that picking them, it be on them. We just want to make sure. So with this intelligence where we get them, we tell them, say when they stay home. This 2 weeks or so, when they stay for home, I know she said you'll get any long-term impact for the education for them picking them. So if anybody they try for forcefully take a picking for school, and if anything happens to for that picking, we believe say it be on the parent. And the same applies to teachers. We want some with teachers that may they stay alive because we did get to the end of the tunnel. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Country people, una don hear am. As una don hear am so, make una dey share the video. Sika say all man suppose for see am. If you dey look we na for social media or you look we na for outside, share am so that make all man hear the talk. So we come be get for hear am because say today go still continue na the day. We no go surrender now. Na early ahead we go the march. Tiwe Master President Mola Ikome Sako, he talk am inside the palaver, make we hear am.
On this very hot topic concerning school reopening, I want to first of all reiterate that we are not against school reopening. We decided to depoliticize the issue of education in 2019 when we chose to use other tools and not that of school boycott in our arsenal. We said that we do no more, we are no more against school reopening, but that parents, teachers, and school proprietors should judge for themselves security environment, because education is not just a blackboard and children with uniforms. There are many things that contribute to education. A good and secured environment is a condition sine qua non. We don't want our children to leave homes and go to school and instead go into a death trap and not come back alive. So we said if the parents and the proprietors and the teachers think that the environment is secured enough that they can both send children to school or receive children and educate them or train them, they should make that choice. We cannot advocate for schools to return when we cannot single-handedly guarantee the security of children. We cannot also advise parents to send their children to school when we cannot guarantee the security of those children.
Country people, now we Master President won a year and so. Inside the story, in talk say for palava for school, na it go remain na for with people na their hand. Say he no go take and he no go mix with the politics. He talk say for sukulu palava na fine thing, but he says he no go use talk say make people go school because we there for war time. If you decide you're picking for school, na for your head. Now why that in governor don't decide long time, say for the palava suku, it then for the papa and the mommy them hand. He talk the one na for big grandma, with big man when I thank Dr. Martin Mungwa as una hear am for this so. The grandma be get as be and we don't hear am. Country people as na don't hear am, na they kind of talk that way big man they call am say straight talk. Why your baby talk, you know the inside. My way get here, may hear am. I don't talk my own, make we enter for another story. Another story where we go enter na for the palava ADF. ADF people, they work tax with people. But the question I want to ask na say, who give them the right for put tax? The very ADF for Cho Ayaba, na the very ADF where we don't see am where it the interval camera, it the cut with people and Bazonia them head like in a Irish terrorist group. The very ADF them, they work with CB for Republic Cameroon. Them head boy, where they are for Norway, we see him for London, where he go for go sell with petrol. This head boy again, na him key Bia. Key plenty for we fight at them for Baribo. He kill him for Mezam, and he kill him too for Manu. Now we Amazonian people then they ask and say, who were this man the fight for? Because it show say na so for a pocket or na for Republic, government the fight for. We don't woke up sharp one time. We just see him again say this man the ask tax for we people. Money where Republic give, it don't surely finish. Or na for security. Why the one they suffer with people, they force them, they put them inside trouble, inside their own money. Now where interim government, they talk say all man suppose look out. Say this palava for tax is supposed to come out na for interim government. Not before my way, you know, sabi left or sabi right. This suffer, where they suffer with people so, this man the car Adam or na for move am. This very head boy, na man way, he open him up, he talk and say, for true so, Ambazonia no be true thing. Where he mean say, he no even believe we. This man he own, na ele for the fine palava for we people. One she, he never ever give am. If he say for help with refugee them, me they take an whole scheme. No, this man no go give am. But instead, he come carry axe tax. So we don't look at now, we dey talk say if we people they don't look out, now for their head. Make no for chuki and make no manogi one shishi. We go leave that tori so. For another tori, when I inside the 30 day for this month, when I September, we president come up for outside, can give you some talk. We chief head boy for IG when I Mola Samuel Komesako talk say people no go carry flag. Master President, the chief head boy for interim government, Mola Komesako, he say for true Ambazonian people them suppose for celebrate with independence this year when at the number 7 year way we don't fight. We don't defy this war so strong. He say me no man no shino for house. Say as we see and so we go celebrate them and we go shake skin. We skin suppose ningi we. Whether na for Germany or na for America or na for home front or na for outside, say me all man come out, he glad. He say we go come out for upside with we country dance. We go tell the world say whether they like am or they hate am we people they suppose for day and we suppose for exist. Now for inside the tori proper, Master President be commander and say for number 30 day for this September so say no go come out with we flag. Make all man come out for outside with the UN flag. Say sika the palava say UN now we will be Southern Cameroon United Nations as they call am for big book. He said that one now for remember UN say we join that join where they join with France and Britain na thief joining. Say that one na thief where they thief we independence so. So we go shake their flag for air. We go remember them say anytime where we people then they die so now because of that day where they cause am. We want me to see am. Then Master President finish the talk for Independent Day sep where now for number 1 day for inside the 10 months where na October. He say we Ambazonia Restoration Force they go come up for outside and they go show the flag with flag and they go carry UN flag. Say because now them they go fit defend against Republic. I want take the chance again for announce for say for Berlin when a capital of Germany, we people them for Ambazonia, they go the gather there. They go get small party and they go invite musician them. We people them for that side for California too, they go do the same thing. They go shake skin for sure we people say now we dey. Master President too for your own side, and they invite all man for government. Make them come and make them journey for the independent. Now wow, make man no come last.
All right. So the next question to you, Mr. President, is during your last town hall meeting, you announced September 30th and October 1st as a twin holiday to be celebrated by Ambazonians at home and abroad. Can you please shed some light on this great event?
Yes, we are the interim government in agreement with our people, the people of Southern Cameroon, have realized that whatever we don't commemorate will be forgotten, will easily be forgotten. We have to commemorate especially the bad things that have happened to us and give ourselves a teachable, a learning, a teachable moment where we are able to teach our children so that if by any means this thing goes beyond our lifetime, they should know what happened. And the days we commemorate will remain as a monument, as a memorial in our consciousness. We want to create that consciousness. I went to Berlin and I saw that the Holocaust has a monument. In Washington, D.C., the Holocaust has a monument. I don't know which Western capital does not have either a museum or event raised for such atrocities. We have to raise our own monuments to tell our stories. And that is why we want to celebrate the 30th of September going forward from this year, because that is the day our demise was sealed. That is the day. The Southern Cameroons voted on the 11th of February 1961 to join La Republique as the only option given to them by the United Nations. On the 21st of April, the resolution was submitted to the United Nations, and the resolution 1608 was voted, prescribing the directives, the processes that needed to be put in place for the union to be consummated between the two entities, the two countries. And that the trusteeship agreement between the United Nations and the Trust Administrator Britain would expire on the 1st of October 1961. That will be the day of our freedom.
Thank you, Mr. President. We will continue for Tori. For that side, for Tico, accident where it happened for the na Elele. More na see the video. This accident so it happened where these people them they be waka go na for that side for Republic them country. This accident it happened so now for like 30 minutes, no man, no pass. Even self Republic Ekelebe, they no pass there. Doctor people, where country people, if you dey comot for your house, make you dey pray. Tell Papa God say thank you. Una see am. These people who na the local so they don dey for that place, no man no dey pass. After serious kind of accident. We go leave that one now. We go enter for that side for Colonial Republic, the way then they talk say palava no dey. Colonial Republic governor, the come for outside, can talk say palava no dey for we country. But bad news is see Inter for we for Undaunted, say Republic Ekelebe, then chowe granot for that side for home front since yesterday night. The chowe granot for there sute, the keys on small gondere for there. Make a give chance, me with Tori man for home front again. He still broke with the Tori for any kind of way he open am for we. Una hear ye?
Bad news we don't enter with today na say, as Republic Ekelebe them, with the Troe Granot, for that side for Kumba, local government area, we lost some with small picking. Some balok bullet we just come off for no side, just can kill this picking. Na sukul picking, in name na Ajek Hilda. This picking, we been a student for from 3 for inside Keke High School for Kumba. Some person will be dey corner this kind thing will happen. It talk say, the bullet just pass inside Kalabu them, so they can meet up this picking direct for Ibele. May we really look out how they work outside now. All this kind bad thing them happen now. See fine girls so, see the small picking. Where are my people them? Where? Una see am.
Where? Mama, me, my picking, 15 years old. Hey, who said the goal is your mommy? Hey!
Una see how we mommy dey cry. Una see am. Small picking so. Time we will be the grow, we be know am normal say. Na picking, the bury ma. But this kind one way they happen now. When a mama and papa the bury picking them. I don't know. It don't really pass my power. This one don't really pass my power. We get for really be careful. Now why that way, if I say me we stay inside we house them, lock door fine, we bibi pa lock. Masa President, Mola Ikomesako, he talk say, he go fine, we first stay inside house. So they ought and they fine for outside, before we even come out, so one goes to school. You know, be say school no be important. Na say we life be more important more than anything. Na me, Toriman Kimbi, I dey report sona for home front for Undaunted Pidgin News.
Thank you again, plenty, Toriman Kimbi. You don't work am all for we, I don't hear am. But again, for sika this palava for Northwest and Southwest, we warrior them for the show wonders. I say again inside the palava for Northwest and Southwest, 3 terrorists them. But then they call themselves say Mecca, Nupo, and Jikam die for we boys them hand for Bui. For places then they call and say Kumbo local government area. According to confirmed Toriman, where EC Oti, this Republic thief people them be the go na for go see some gondere. Now where them wear normal man he close, then they climb on top Bensiki, they start go. So Balok, now where he hold them, where we wise people for gong, they throw that Tori, give for we boys them sharp. Country people one time, we boys them for Bui, then jam with this Ekelebe them, place them for play with the need for day. I say I meet up them for play that they call and say Akono Linga Express, then they send them one time for Samna Lima. We boys them carry their Bensiki, carry their gun, carry them granite, then throw them for day, make the people know what to do with them. We are not there. So for Palava die. So for Palava die for the number 1 day for this moon. The public Ekelebe, where then they call and say B for according to them. The keys of the innocent countryman for that side for Fiango. Fiango na small place where it is for Kumbade. They be them inter for Fiango, so then the talk say for a country Sunday, it no go happen. So now way they open fire. Picking them, they no go Sukulu as they hear now why they enter for that place that way. I say people for Fiango, they tell MMI say the Republic Ekelebe them as them be there so they enter for the because they hear say some of we boys in the bushes, then go there. Now when they throw a granite, so take one granite, it take one boy for the killer. But some man talk say, as we know, that man be being a normal man and he no be any Ambazonia. That man just be the live na in normal life. The people them for Fiango too, they talk say the Ekelebe them, they be there ready for kill any person where them think say that we boys in the bushes. Sika say they no want maybe country Sunday way with the plan may pass fine. MMI talk with some we countryman too for day, say Kumba, it no be better for day. Say Gideon concerning the palava, and he talk say we boys them, they don't die plenty for that side. Gideon to the talk say, them really be sure say, this man no be Amba. Because this man na normal countryman with the Sabia. Only 2 days before they kill this Ekelebe so, for that side from Abada, Kumba, 2 local government area, them don't kill another man. Now LSO, then the kiki with people, they say na Amba. This Ekelebe they talk say, this man in name be na Sakwe somewhere, and it be na for we bosses in the bushes for some group where they call and say Idiki from Bonge inside Konya local government area. And this Ekelebe them find am. Then put this life for this man in head so that people gonna say the man they guilty. Someone they that side for Kumba where you know give it in name. When this Ekelebe them kill this person so they just the blame am say na Amba. This same way then they kill these people so now so then they kill am for village since 2017. We go leave that story so I will go enter for another story. For number 2 day for September, where it be been for this month, le BLM they be get their draft day. The BLM they be get their draft day and they be celebrate where it be na last week. Again for number 2 day, where it go be Momo County, we go leave that story, we go enter for Momo County, then draft day, where it go be na this Saturday. This Saturday, when I number 9 day for this month, na Momo dem County Draft Day. As e get as e be, I don't finish my own story for here. I go give chance for we undaunted come be them, make them broke the story proper. Una stay fine, I don't go me.
See that you can if I know that can.
Stylish, cool, A-list.
See that you can if I know that can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if I know that can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if I know that can. If only you knew how great you are. Every time you try so hard to be maybe a great pillar of your country or to be a change maker of the world, then I don't think you'll ever run away. Even when your world has broken down, you should always turn and face your fears. For what doesn't kill you makes you strong. Just keep interested in whatever you do. Listen to your heart and believe like a fool. For however humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortune of time. Oh my brother, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh my sister, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can.
Cool.
See that you can if another can.
Stylish, cool, A-list.
See that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. If only you knew how great you are. Every time you try so hard to be maybe a pillar of your country or to be a change maker of the world, I don't think you'll ever run away. Even when your world has broken down, you should always turn and face your fears. For what doesn't kill you makes you strong. Just keep interested in whatever you do. Listen to your heart and believe like a fool. For however humble it is a real possession in the changing fortune of time. Oh my brother, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh my sister, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you would see that you can if another.
Good evening and welcome to Undaunted, bringing into the news untold stories. I am Star Smart. Let's begin. La Republic's so-called professional and well-equipped military are unable to influence the trend of affairs in Amazonia. All attempts to dissolve Monday ghost towns by La Republic government officials have failed. Administrative powers over Amazonia now reside in the hands of the interim government and not with the colonial La Republic government. While schools are resuming today, September 4th, 2023, in neighboring La Republic de Cameroon, it is the usual Monday ghost towns in the entire Amazonia. The tractors to the fight for the liberation of the Federal Republic of Amazonia from the colonial chains of La Republique should by now know that they are laboring in vain, with the unison in Amazonia in the respect of Monday lockdowns. Meanwhile, the detractors try their hardest. The peoples of Amazonia march forward to Boya celebrating their wins with every draft for the liberation struggle of Amazonia. Over the weekend, LBLM drafted a whooping sum of over 12,000 US dollars. On this exciting note, we'll get into the full briefings of Undaunted tonight with the prime headlines.
Here are the prime headlines for tonight. Very sad report: a child killed early today in area. Firepower returns in Yer village in Kumbo local government area. While Ambazonians remains committed to ghost town even as school was supposed to resume today in La Republic de Cameroon. While students in Boya University decries hike in house rents. Well, La Republic de Cameroon on its knees as teachers declare Operation Dead Chalk. And also tonight, Colonial La Republic de Cameroon military occupation terrorizing denizens of Babatu village in Santa local government area. In the African scene, we're going to be looking at the latest in Gabon and, of course, in 3 cases of Prigozine's death. Now let's get the news in detail.
Our vision in this interim government is to make ABC a leader and a real war horse of our struggle. We want to grow it, expand it, hire and train more hands, and broadcast round the clock, around the world, and take command of the media space of this world.
You can enjoy all round the clock 24/7 exclusive moments of bliss as an ABC Amba TV Club member. A cappella. Latest Nigerian stroke African movies, global politics, ABC Amba News and updates, historical documentaries, and lots more. In our daily programs, we have Undaunted, ABC Amba News, bringing into the news untold stories with Onyi Okpala and Star Smart. Exclusive discussion, revolutionary panel conversation, infotainment, edutainment, intro governmental debates on topical issues with Tar Paddy King, State of the Liberation Movement, fronting IG and people of Ambazonia's position, the Struggles Weekly Update with Secretary Martin Mungwa, PhD, FASCE. Health is wealth, health education and awareness within the Ambazonian community with Dr. Yaya. Liberation prayer and intercessory ministry for Ambazonia with Pastor Victor Amba. Our freedom, spiritual awareness and education for the Ambazonian community with Pastor Victor Amba and Pastor Commando. Politics, neutralizing the myths and preconceived religious and political philosophies that limit the Christian involvement in the realms of decent politics with Pastor Commando. The Horizon, the voice of the Ambazonian woman with Dr. Patience Abiedo and Lady Casey. Our history, bringing to limelight the hidden history of Ambazonia to the world with Pastor Commando. Appointment on community building, education on patriotism within the Ambazonian communities with Ma Rachel Itatima. Ethics for an Emerging Nation, watchdog of basic principles and morals of a nation at war with Ma Dorothy Ngwa. Upcoming programs: Pigeon News, Vernacular Talk Show, County Roots, Activists Corner, Amba Focus, only on ABC Amba Television. We the people, the voice of the voiceless. For 24/7 access, subscribe as a club member on www.abcambatv.com/subscribe.
Well, it is evident that powers have changed hands. La République du Cameroon and what they call professional or well-equipped military are unable to influence the trend of affairs in Ambazonia. All attempts to dissolve Monday Ghost Town by La République du Cameroon government officials have failed. Administrative powers over Ambazonia now reside in the hands of the interim government and not with the colonial La République du Cameroon government. While schools are resuming, or were supposed to resume today, September 4th, 2023, in neighboring La République du Cameroon, it is the usual Monday ghost town in the entire Ambazonia. So, is it not time for La République du Cameroon to consider this reality and move out? Well, let's begin tonight on Undaunted here. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, very well, Onyu. Well, it is a total lockdown in Ambazonia as usual today. The doors of all schools are locked as the interim government instituted ghost towns is being observed today. Ghost towns that fall on the same day the schools are resuming today, Monday, in the colonial La République for the 2023/2024 academic year. Undaunted visited some schools in Bamenda and observed that the school premises were cleaned in preparation for back to school. the schools were void of pupils and teachers. The people of Amazonia are poised to frustrate La Republic government activities in Amazonia. Sacrifice to reach the goal is very accepted and put in place. Schools certainly resume in Amazonia in the days ahead for the 2023/2024 academic year, but not by La Republic school calendar.
All right, moving on. 3 La Republic Declaration terrorist forces of occupation were neutralized by the dreaded Boye Warriors ARF's unit in an ambush at Yer village in Combo local government area. According to a source, the 3 terrorists were on their way to an appointment to meet a certain lady. They were dressed in civilian attire and riding a bike. While our intelligence report picked up their activities and quickly informed the ARFs, who laid an ambush, sending all 3 to Sangmalima, where their weapons, including their bike, were harvested and their lifeless bodies dumped on the local exhibition.
The Boye warriors are once again calling on La Republic terrorist elements in Boye and Amazonia in general to hand over their weapons to the nearest Amazonian Restoration Forces base and giving a safe passage to a safe neighboring country. The Boye warriors are equally pleading on all Amazonians, her friends and well-wishers, lovers of sublime ideals of justice, freedom, peace, liberty, and independence, to continue to support them so that they can continue to defend their country until the terrorists leave the territory. Oh well, in the studio tonight, we're honored to have our news director, Patty King, to react to some very pivotal matters of concern. Would like to confirm if you can hear us, Mr. Ta. Yes. Need I remind you that tonight our news director will be joining us via audio because he's indisposed for live video. Well, tonight we have some concerns, starting with today's lockdown. We believe you, Mr. Ta, would have something to say about this. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ta. Something more like breaking news. It's something we've talked about before in the studio, and it has to do with Cho Ayaba's more like ransom taken from the already suffering peoples of Amazonia, the people on the home front in the war-torn Amazonia who have to deal with daily traumas and deaths that they do not expect, people who are going through a lot that this war has. I'd like you to quickly react because there's this, we just saw this, a 70,000 amount that is supposed to be given to him as what he calls tax for whatever struggle he is about, but he calls it some tax, Amazonian tax for whatever struggle he calls it. Would like you to react to this. What can you say about this action of Cho Ayaba demanding this 70,000, not in francs CFA, in dollars. This money from Ambazonians on the home front who are suffering already. The receipt. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Atta. We'll move on with the news and then we'll get back to you in a bit. We still have some very breaking news of concerns that we'd like you to react to, but after the break. The BIRs, who are known for looting people's chickens and goats for their meals, seizing their phones and killing people and harassing natives, is as though they can't quite differentiate between chickens, goats, and Ambazonians. Because fact has it that they kill both alike. Knowing this about La Republique's occupational military, which has got another disturbing information that the militia of La Republique de Cameroon, also known as the Battalion de Intervention Rapide, BIR, who came to bury Frundi in Baba 2, are still there. Before and after his burial, The militia have been increasingly engaging in extortions, denigrating treatments, torture, harassment of peaceful villagers, and any human rights violation peculiar with this La Republic military occupation. They go around the village stealing foodstuffs, stealing chickens, goats, and any other animal belonging to other people for their meat.
Well, a few days ago, the militia beat Ngam Ndizi almost to death because they claimed to refuse his wife from cooking for them. Another person by name Cho Kweti was also beaten and given 2 weeks to leave Baba II, as the militia claimed his phone had some messages in it. Worst of all, the militias had created 2 checkpoints. The first at the boundary between Alatnin and St. Baba 2, and the other one going at the boundary between Mbo and Baba 2. They have been extorting money from drivers before being allowed to ply that road. Passengers are not also being left out. They seize phones from anyone they find and claim that those phones have Amazonian messages in them.
I wonder if it isn't about time Burundi's children called back their Cameroonese BIR family from Babatu. Their father, who was buried unperturbed. What we wonder is why the military family is still in Babatu when their money had long been over. In all this, none of Burundi's children are in Babatu, but the villagers are going through this struggle. We are asking if Achu Benjamin and Chair Tina Lung and all of them, if they are aware of all of these atrocities they created and left behind. We hope that someone sends an SOS message to the Burundi's family to call back their Cameroonese BIRs who are harassing, torturing, and terrorizing, including extorting money from the poor people of Babatu.
Moving on, the death of the Genocidio La Republique du Cameroon military have again wasted one Amazonian life. They have killed a young man in Cuba and dumped the corpse on the street. La Republique du Cameroon's mission to Amazonia is to kill, steal, and destroy. It is incumbent for the people of Amazonia to support every move towards ousting La Republique du Cameroon from Amazonia.
Now, the death of an unidentified young man in Fiango, Kumba, has been blamed on members of La Republique's elite military force, the BIR, again. BIR members stormed the neighborhood on September 1st amid rumors of an impending Amazonian fighters lockdown. A Fiango resident told MMI that the young man was tagged as an Amazonian fighter before he was killed and his body dumped at Three Corners, Fiango. The colonial military visited the area after rumors circulated about a looming lockdown in prelude to school resumptions on September 4th. Now, a resident said due to the upcoming ghost town, the La Republique military just kill anybody they suspect without any concrete evidence. He also stated that the young man who was killed had been living a normal life in the neighborhood like any other civilian.
Well, MMI spoke with senior journalist Gideon, full name withheld for security reasons, who is based in Kumba, about the said incident, and he confirmed a body was found that morning, but said people were still confused as to who killed the young man. He said residents woke up to the corpse and many were unaware of who had killed him. A corpse was discovered in the morning, Three Corners roundabout, but before he could leave town, the exact killers weren't known. Well, he added that he was unsure whether he is a civilian or an Amba fighter.
2 days before this young man was killed at Fiango, La Republique gendarmerie officers in Mabanda, Kumba 3 local government area, were reported to have killed another man after associating him with the Ambazonian armed struggle. La Republique's government propagandists alleged that the man, whom they identified as Sakwe Samuel, was commanding an Ambazonian armed group at Ediki Mbonge in Konye local government area, and that La Republique gendarmes hunted him down for killing a pregnant woman.
Usually, these propaganda platforms quickly tag those killed by soldiers, as Amber said Feindi, a Kumba resident. He says they are tagged as separatist fighters as well. Similarly, they usually seek to justify the killing of their victims by tagging them as blacklegs. Several cases of such summary killings by seemingly Lao Republic to Cameroon have been rampant in villages and towns in Ambazonia since the ongoing armed conflict started in 2017.
Well, the most recent of these human rights violations in Kumba being a student killed early this morning. The sad news that got to Undaunted confirms and affirms that colonial La Republic occupier forces have been spraying bullets in Kumba local government area. This military occupation has been spraying bullets in Kumba since last night until the time we got this report. Eyewitness accounts say a stray bullet just killed a young lady with the name Ajak Hilda, a Form 3 student of Colonial La Republic Government High School Kake in Kumba local government area just this morning. The bullet perforated their plank building, commonly called Kalabut, and tore open her stomach, leading to her untimely death.
It is reported that Colonial La Republic, the Cameroon occupier forces, orchestrated sporadic shootings around Mawon Kumba local government area over the night till this early morning. This is the reason why the Ambazonian People's Interim Government, led by the incorruptible and resilient President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, Dr. Sako reiterated again and again the necessity for a conducive study environment for pupils, students, teachers, and parents.
Now, the genocidal La Republique military continues its scorched earth policy, yet say normalcy has returned. Quite paradoxical. What a blatant lie.
All right, before we move on with the interviews for the stories for tonight, we still have the director of ABC News here in the studio, Mr. Ta. Mr. Ta, are you there? Oh, yes. Well, tonight seems to be a very sad one. Several killings here and there. I mean, a young girl killed already. And it seems like much emphasis needs to be placed on the reason why students, pupils, shouldn't be let out of the house. I mean, we hadn't even read the story, and you had stood your ground on what the interim government had said or has been saying. Now, here we have more reports. I mean, a young girl just lost her life, and I'm sure there are so many other reports that has not been reported officially about such incidences. Please, we need you to throw more light on this.
maybe someone wants to remove this right now. The only thing we can really do is our response to what is happening. And our response, our collective response, is to participate for the lockdown, number one, is for those in the diaspora to make sure that you join your counties and draft, make sure you're paying your AID, and you're promoting this platform. ABC Amba television right now is the only in sub-Saharan Africa that is communicating the story on untainted of the peoples of the former Mississippi country. So what do we do to stop the war? The only way we can stop the war is to win the war. But before that, we can't do it.
All right, Mr. Tar, you also mentioned about the Independence Day while you were answering the previous questions. All the killings in Amazonia is the interim government is working towards stopping it, is working towards Amazonia finally getting to Boya, gaining its own recognition. The Independence Day celebrations are there events geared. You've mentioned the international press conference for September 22nd. That aside, on the Independence Day, because a lot has been said about what will happen. A lot has been said about this year's independence being very special. Is there anything else you'd like us to know about this coming Independence Day and the interim government's move towards our recognition, Amazonian recognition?
Yes, I'm made to understand that there's no sound, and I would like the technicians to verify that. Someone just indicated that there's no sound. So you want to be sure that you're getting sound. I just received a feedback that there's no sound. Ensure that you have sound on your system or you're streaming sound on Facebook. Someone just wrote that there's no sound, please. Okay, if there is sound now, I want you to also indicate that you have received the sound. The person who just sent that message that there's no sound, do you want to indicate if you have sound now?
Okay.
Okay, yes, I've been told that they can hear me now. So unfortunately, maybe Star's question was not heard. Yes, Star Smart, you were asking me about the special services that we are supposed to be doing this week, this month, and there are a lot of things, and it is a call for every Amazonian. I understand that in other parts of the United States of America, California has indicated that they'll be doing something. Once the details are there, we will definitely bring it to the public. Germany is going to be having a chain of festivities, and they're also going to be having a music concert or a show on the 1st of October evening. The venue and everything will also be made known. You have Willie de Paris and other musicians will be there. We don't want to reveal the name of the other musicians now for security purposes, but you have other musicians who will definitely be there. The most important part is the president wants every Amazonian globally to participate, because our participation this year is definitely going to be a statement that will be made publicly. I think for now, I would like to just react only on the aspect of the coups that are coming, so we can rush through Dr. Munga's communique that he has just released.
All right, so thank you so much. Talking about the communique that was just released this particular evening from the Department of Communications and IT, and it's titled BS Special Status Nightmare. No, it carries the title Cardinal Chumi, Pastor Funky, Musaino Nkia, and now Musaino Emeritus Eswa. He says they are the Judases of the Amazonian Revolution. He goes on to highlight different points here. He stated the fact that on the 24th of October 2020, La Republic du Cameroon government, dressed as civilians, stormed Mother Francisca Bilingual Academy, a private school in Kumba Fiango neighborhood in Meme County, and said they attacked 7 children. He also mentioned that in On the 28th of November 2021, La Republic de Cameroon security forces camouflaged as civilians attacked a school in Kumbo in Indian County and killed a teacher and 3 students. He highlighted numerous tragic incidents that were targeted at Ambazonians, and he's feeling worried about the religion aspect of the country and the people as well. He goes on to end this communique by saying, "Dear Ambazonians and the international community, that during these past 6 years, the interim government, under the steward of President Samuel Ikomisako, is not fighting war with or against the coalition of dialogue and negotiation. Rather, the Ambazonian army, generally known as the ARF, is fighting against La Republic du Cameroon military. And, of course, the rest is history." Now, severally on the show, we have seen that the religious body hasn't played a pivotal role in this war as it is. Maybe that is the reason why Dr. Mungwa, SOS for Communications and IT, had to give this communique. Mr. Paddy, would you want to throw in more light on this?
Yes. Can you guys hear me now? If you can hear me, just indicate. And I would like that to be on the screen, if possible, in a row, so that our people can see it. I'd like to comment on that just very briefly. Thank you very much, Onye, for being proactive. Dr. Mungwa released that just a few minutes ago, and I'm proud of you people that you're able to have it for Ambazonians. We're going to share it on all our platforms and social media platforms. The most important thing is that it should go to the international community. On here, you follow up with your team to make sure that it is posted on the Facebook pages and even on the website, so that the international community will know the opposition of Amazonia. And I want to appreciate the Secretary of State for Communications and IT, Dr. Mungwa, for proactively doing this, because it's important that why I will call these so-called purported men of God as enablers of the genocide that are happening in our homeland. It's very vital and very important for the interim government to come out clear and clean, present the position of Amazonia, so that the media rhetoric is not tainted with the wrong narratives. We have a duty as ABC Amba TV to be specific on those who are fighting for us, so that they are not mistaken for speaking on our behalf or in our behalf, whereas they are actually proxies of the colonial administration. The true voice of Amazonia, I guess that is the target of this press release. The true voice of Amazonia is the interim government. And if you have not seen a communique signed by Dr. Martin Mungwa, then you should know it's either a proxy trying to play a fast one. So thank you very much.
Are there any further things you might want to react to for tonight? Okay, all right, Mr. Ta, are there anything else you'd like to react to on Undaunted tonight? Because this is where I would like to say to you, it's been a pleasure. But if you have something else to react to, would like to hear it, sure.
The reaction I want to react tonight is that you people are looking so beautiful on the screen, and I love your news of today. I can't wait to see the reports you have on what is happening around the world, so you can continue. Thank you very much.
All right, if your reaction would be compliment, our reaction to that would be thank you so much, Mr. Tar. Thank you so much. It's always nice having you here in the studio in Undaunted with us. We'll be moving on with the rest of the news for tonight.
All right, moving on. Landlords in the Boya University area have taken advantage of the laxity of the Colonial La Republic de Cameroon price regulatory service to inflate house rents. Given that the University of Boya is a pull factor for the influx of tenants being students, the students have cried out. Given that these landlords are sole proprietors, can anything be done to compel them to reduce the rent?
Now, university students residing in Boya, the chief town of Fako County, in the Atlantic zone of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, are decrying the exorbitant cost of rooms in the town. Boya, a town renowned for its education-centered activities, has over 15,000 students and is home to about 20 universities, including the state university known as the University of Boya. Students aspiring to settle in this area and pursue their academics have expressed dissatisfaction with the landlords imposing huge rent on them ahead of the academic year.
A level 300 student at the University of Boya said, in his words, "It seems I won't be able to continue school because of house rent. Landlords are continuously increasing rents, making everything difficult for us and our parents. Landlords still add the cost of living in old houses, very expensive." While wondering how he will cope this year, academic year, he added, "I cannot imagine a student area like this where houses are this expensive. Our school fees are more than that. We cannot pay this much for a house and then come to Boya to starve. Currently, one must possess at least 350,000 to 500,000 francs CFA or above to acquire a room, kitchen, and toilets in Boya. Many students have been plunged into chaotic situations."
Well, does La Republic have no law governing house rents, we wonder? Or do they even have in laws at all? Another student in the same situation question, adding what could cause the room's cost to increase suddenly from 300,000 francs CFA to 450,000 francs CFA. She says Boyer is experiencing that. He decried that house owners now compel students to be involved in scamming. That is, someone somewhere should intervene in Boya because he cannot believe how rapidly the house rent is increasing. Now, there is an increase in house rents in Boya each year, said another person.
Well, our reporter made futile attempts to get landlords to speak and tell us the reasons for the drastic increase. They categorically refused to talk to the media. However, students continue to call on the Colonial Republic of Cameroon administrative authorities to urgently rescue them from the deteriorating situation.
Well, reports getting to Undaunted say teachers in La Republique have launched nationwide strike ahead of the 2023 to 2024 school years. That's just barely hours to the new school years. La vie chère is what the Cameroons are experiencing due to its bad government, and it's just sad to see that it affects everybody, including schools, students, and landlords. Well, to express their grievances, they called a protest called the Dead Choke, the failed Yaoundé government for not fulfilling the promises made on March 9th, 2023. The teachers grouped under what is abbreviated in the French language OTS on a trop surfer. We have suffered a lot, that's what it means, transcribing from French. Movement in a release dated Thursday, August 31st, called on teachers to go to schools on Monday, September 4th, dressed in black, sign their presences, return to the staff hall or on the schoolyard, take photos and videos, and publish them on social media.
Well, the OTS release also called on teachers to avoid falling in traps or being intimidated by their hierarchies. The strike action this time will be less dependent on the Colonial Republic of Cameroon's government's reaction. They want the teachers equally send out messages reading in their voice, saying money in the pocket, chalk in the hand, and that either the Yaoundé junta signs the special statues given to them or there will be no school throughout the country.
Or the failed CPDM government had recruited these teachers based on fallacious promises, saying that they meant made to Amazonians, never fulfilling. Well, same promises they made also to the DDR centers. These teachers have taught for years without salaries, and some of these frustrated teachers have depended on their parents under the Parents Teachers Association or rich pupils and students to make ends meet. One of the reasons why in La Republic fraud in exams and sexually transmittable marks are very common. Last week in Africa, Niger's ruling junta had ordered police to expel France's ambassador, a move marking a further downturn in relations, and wondered authorities in Paris said the army officers who seized power in Niamey last month had no authority to make. The coup's leaders are following the strategy of juntas in neighboring Mali and Burkina Faso in distancing themselves from the region's former colonial power amid a wave of anti-French movement.
Well, the visas of French Ambassador to Niamey, Sylvain Ite, and his family have been cancelled, and police are instructed to expel the envoy. The junta said in a statement dated 29th of August and confirmed as authentic on Thursday by its communications head. Instigators of the coup, condemned by regional African authorities and by Western nations, last Friday ordered Ite to leave the country within 48 hours in response to what they called actions by France contrary to the interests of Niger. It said this included the envoy's refusal to respond to an invitation to meet Niger's new foreign minister.
Well, France has called for ousted President Mohamed Bazoum to be returned to office and said it would support efforts by West African regional bloc ECOWAS to overturn the coup. What's with this Western hypocrisy, anyways, we wonder? It's easier for them to demonize Russia, asking them to leave Ukraine's territory, but will not do so when they are asked to leave any African country. Well, on to the most recent coup in Africa. We had the most trending news from Africa hit the world as well. I'm talking about the most recent coup in where a group of high-ranking military officers in the West African nation of Gabon announced on public television Wednesday that they were putting an end to the current regime and annulling the results of national elections.
Well, the statements came just after the country's election authority declared President Ali Bongo Ondimba the winner of another term in office. The coup they had placed Bongo under house arrest, surrounded by his family and doctors, and that one of his sons had been arrested for treason.
Well, a little rundown here. Bongo has been in power in the country for 14 turbulent years, following in the footsteps of his father, who led the nation for more than 4 decades before him. According to French news agency, the area around Bongo's residence in the capital, Libreville, appeared quiet at the time. If successful, the coup should represent the 10th in West and Central Africa since 2017. And today, it has proven successful as they now have a new president.
Well, Niger's military took over the government in July, sending shockwaves through the region and drawing in countries with strategic interest in the region. Here is a timeline of coup in Africa in recent years.
Well, 2019 Sudanese coup d'etat on April 11, 2019. Late in the afternoon, following mass demonstrations calling for his ouster, President Omar al-Bashir was deposed by the Sudanese armed forces. At the time, the army under the command of Ahmed Ouf overthrew the government and national legislature and proclaimed a 3-month state of emergency in the nation. This was followed by a 2-year transitional period before an agreement was eventually reached.
2020 Malian coup d'etat, beg your pardon, on the 18th of August 2020, part of the Malian armed forces initiated a mutiny, which was followed by a coup d'etat. Several government officials were detained, including President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta, who resigned and dissolved the government. Following the 2012 coup, this was the country's second coup in less than 10 years.
And in 2021, Malian coup d'etat. On the evening of May 24th, On the evening of May 24th, 2021, the Malian army, under the command of Vice President Assimi Goïta, seized President Ba Ndao, Prime Minister Mokhtar Owen, and Minister of Defense Souleymane Doucouré. This was the nation's third coup d'etat in 10 years, following the military takeovers in 2012 and 2020, the latter of which occurred just 9 months earlier.
2021 Tunisian self-coup. On July 25, 2021, the Hikam Mekichi government was overthrown by Tunisian President Kais Saied, who also suspended the Assembly of Representatives of the People and removed the immunity of its members. Described as a self-coup, the action followed a group of political unrest highlighted by a string of anti-Ennahda protests and the breakdown of Tunisia's healthcare system in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic.
2021, yet again, Guinea coup d'etat. Alpha Condé, the president of Guinea, was taken prisoner by the military on September 5, 2021. The leader of the special forces announced the dissolution of the government and constitution in a broadcast that was televised on state television by Mamadi Doumbouya.
2021 Sudanese coup d'etat, General Abdel Fattah el-Burhan and the Sudanese military staged a coup against the military's government.
January 2022, Burkina Faso coup d'etat. On January 23, 2022, Burkina Faso experienced a coup d'etat. On January 24th, the military made a television announcement that President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore had been removed from office.
September 2022, Burkina Faso coup d'etat. On September 30th, 2022, a coup d'etat removed interim President Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba from Burkina Faso due to his apparent failure to handle the nation's Islamist insurgency. Just 8 months earlier, a coup had brought Damiba to power. Captain Ibrahim Traoré assumed command in an acting capacity.
And in 2023, Nigerian coup d'etat. On July 26th, the Presidential Guard of the Republic of the Niger detained President Mohamed Bazoum, which has caused a lot of stares and reactions. Shortly after declaring the coup a success, Presidential Guard Commander General Abdurrahmane Chiani assumed control of a new military junta. And now Gabon. With all the coup, we'd like to get this food for thought from Honorable Mama Kande.
Recent, I have seen the ECOWAS introducing the anti-coup d'etat unit. We are not in support of coup d'etat, but I have a concern. Before setting up a unit or anti-coup d'etat unit, isn't it time that the African head of states or the ECOWAS head of states look into the reason why there are coup d'etats? What are the root causes of coup d'etats? Let them put their house in order first before they set up an anti-coup d'etat unit. Let them put their house in order. And I believe their house is not in order. This unit is set up to defend them and to protect them only, nobody else. What is more coup d'etat than your national constitution gives you 2-term limit, 5 years, 2 terms. After serving 10 years, you want to change the constitution for another term. Is that not a coup d'etat? Because you feel you have the powers to do that. The soldiers have the powers to coup d'etat. That is also another coup d'etat. And they are living with them there. They are there. In the name of civilian, putting on mufti clothes, calling yourself a Democrat, when you loot all the resources of your country. mislead people, torture them, imprison them, burn their businesses to us, and you call that a democracy or a civilian rule and illegally elected government? The leaders must stop lying to their electorate first. They must stop the gun. They must stop looting our resources. They must understand that they are not a better citizen than anybody. They are given a responsibility, a role to play to help develop the countries and make sure that there is peace and tranquility and respect the constitution of the country. So before you create a unit to go against any attempt of coup d'etat, put your house in order. Stop lying to your electorate. Stop lying to your citizens. Stop looting the resources of your country. Stop corruption country.
Well, while these other meetings by the West go on, the people seems to be excited about all of this coup. Should a coup excite the people? Of course, no. But then, if the leaders aren't doing the right things, what happens? Excitement from the Gabonese celebrating the coup happening in their country shocked the whole world. But then, has the leader of the coup that ousted Gabon's former president Ali Bongo, sworn in as interim president and chaired by Jubilean supporters today, is seen all over the world. And the oppressed society rejoices. This is really a study for Africans in this very trying period.
Moving on, the foreign news.
Yes.
Right, on the African scene, a lot is happening across the globe. A lot is happening across the globe, and we will definitely bring you all of these and more tomorrow on Undaunted News Bulletin. Now, on behalf of Michael Anchor, my Undaunted crew, we say thank you for being part of today's broadcast. See you tomorrow.